My guest sitting across from me is the one who came up with the idea for this month's Spotlight theme. She's also here to tell us about it and about the films we're showing and why she chose them. Welcome back, Cher.
Thank you.
Now, our next film is from MGM in 1944, and it stars Irene Dunne, along with a really magnificent supporting cast, which includes Van Johnson, a very young Elizabeth Taylor, Frank Morgan, Peter Lawford, I mean, so many people. The movie is The White Cliffs of Dover. Why this film?
I saw it once and I just fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like the expanse of time.
Mm-hmm.
And
because it covers two wars.
Right. And I loved everybody. I loved the whole cast. I mean, Frank Morgan is so amazing in this. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, is Van Johnson.
Right.
And was that before his accident?
This came right after the accident,
okay.
and this movie was one of the movies that they put him in to see if he could be photographed again, because he had a lot of damage to his forehead and his face. And so they put him in this, and also Madame Curie with Greer Garson in small parts to make sure that even
before the story about what is it called?
Well, he was making A Guy Named Joe
with
Irene Dunne,
right? And
he got in this accident, Irene Dunne and Spencer Tracy, and he wasn't an important star, so they were going to recast it and refilm. And Irene Dunne and Spencer Tracy both went to the people at MGM and said, no, you got to keep this guy. He's terrific. So Irene Dunne made this movie in the meantime, but as the film was getting completed, then she was going to go back and do A Guy Named Joe if Van Johnson could be photographed. So he did a small part to make sure that he was okay, and the part of Madame Curie, and they said, yeah, we can photograph him, even though he had quite a scar on his forehead.
I thought when I was watching that there might have been a scene cut out where you saw him earlier, because it seemed like when he came in, there was something between them. He obviously liked her and had some sort of a crush, but it seemed like maybe there was a scene before that gave it, a little backstory before that,
There may have been, or they could have been, it was awkwardly written in order to get a scene with him in it. So test him before the cameras.
And I really loved her in this movie. I mean, she was like the American. She was just as American as apple pie,
Right.
And
living in England.
Right.
That's what, the theme of it is an American woman falls in love with a Brit and goes to live in Britain. And it's how that affects her when America is at war and Britain's at war.
I love this
not only during the First World War, but also the Second World War.
I know.
So her life is so changed by these two wars.
And I like that C. Aubrey Smith took her to the dance when all the people in the boarding house thought he was just an old codger. Right, an old codger.
The White Cliffs of Dover is such a big, impressive film. It's also very typical of what MGM did when they put all their forces behind an important film.
I know.
I mean, the sets and the
how
cast
many people were doing in that wall scene. There were 1,000 people in there, and it was a huge, huge set. And I know that they were famous for doing those huge sets.
Right. You wouldn't see something like that in a Warner Brothers film.
No.
No.
Well, they were
MGM had the money and everything was very plush.
No,
there was no dust in an MGM film.
Right.
You never saw any dust. Or no alleyways, no gutters.
But, and that was Warner Brothers was like, that was what you saw.
Yeah, that was Warner Brothers. Right. Well, let's see the film. Here it is with the cast that also includes Roddy McDowall, Amy Whitty, and Gladys Cooper. 1944, based on a poem by Alice Duer.